Remember, we got the song about Seven Nation Army. You see how you say, I'm going to Wichita. Far from this opera forevermore, I'm going to work the straw. And I'm bleeding, bleeding, bleeding right before the Lord. You see? He going to Wichita, he going to bleed before the Lord. You know what I'm saying? This is deep stuff. Let's go even deeper. So, that's why the Antichrist, Barack Obama, had to go inside the altars. Because as it's written, in that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and it should be a witness for us unto the sign unto the Lord of hosts, which are shadow things to come with the bodies of Christ. So the altars are measured 5,776 inches tall, because they testify and witness when the Lord was going to return. The 5 for the 5th day, the 7 for the 7th month, which is July, then the 76 for the 1976 birth year, July 5th, 1976. You see what I'm saying? That's why July 4th they shoot their fireworks up to the air, blaspheming. Saying basically they're going to war against heaven with their fireworks. Don't come down here, So that's why Obama, the Antichrist, had to go inside the altars, the only president to do so, because we got to raise up the Messiah. He not going to boast and say I'm Christ, I am Christ. He's not going to do that. That's why I said those who believe, when they saw him believe and have faith, they get eternal life. Blessed are they. That's why in 2 Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That's why the Antichrist will do that. He'll boast and say he's the God because he went inside the altars. It's all about knowing prophecy. That's why you got Black Boy Max, sitting there saying, I thank Obama every day because he changed that dope law. I thank Obama every day because he changed that dope law. They want to just crush up the bricks, crush up the stones. Keep the curling going. Make sure that stone don't make it to that bullseye. Throw all the other stones off. Get people off their path, make them lust, after the ways of the world, trying to be this, trying to be that, or get distracted by, daily life, etc. The wheel within the wheel, but keep them frozen so, the stones can't get close to them, they slipping. But you can't touch them because the Lord said don't touch mine elect. But just make them get caught up on their own, the snare of the devil, Set a trap, let them fall into it themselves by their own free will. You know what I mean? That's why you see Donald Trump had to, you see how he got rid of MLK Day and Juneteenth and made it, for like free admission on MLK Day and Juneteenth and National Parks Services and put his birthday instead, So that just goes into the July 5th because they already know that time is going away, man, revering all that blackness. That stuff got to go, It's about knowing who the true people are, who Judah really is, not knowing what Rosa Louise Parks did. Rosa Lewis Parks, following that Lewis, That's what they want people doing. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr., and Luther is just Lewis. He's the doctor because Christ rides with healing in his wings. He's Martin because Mars just means war. And remember his name was Michael too. Michael just the one like God. Then he's Luther, which is just Lewis, and then he's the king. The son of God, the king. And then he's a junior because he's the son of God, blasphemy. Like the father's son. That's some blasphemy, man. And then Juneteenth, they want to keep people thinking they free out the slavery, and go join the American system and become a Babylonian. Get unchained and just go deeper into the matrix, man. Don't know you're a Judahite. That's why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing.